God. Good job.
Y'all just get along.
Oh, fuck you, faggot.
Yo, you wanna suck my fucking ass?
Fuck you! I hope your whole family has a nice Christmas!
Nah, let's be real right now. Who doesn't love trash talking in the gaming community?
You fucking stupid bitch!
Definitely me when I'm on the winning end, knowing that my opponent is absolute dumpster fire.
Let's fucking go! Yo, fucking suck!
Definitely not me when I am the dumpster fire.
I'm fucking touch you.
Whether you were a victim, registered insult offender, or happen to be a bystander at the moment, you'd have heard a myriad of insults by now. Could be as simple as, you're trash, you suck, or my personal favorite, noob. Occam's razor at its finest. And then we move on with the uncommon rarity cyber abuse. Free ELO. Thanks for the warm-up. How do I turn off bots? The kind that gets you grinding your teeth and punching in your computer. How creative the insult is doesn't matter much in this video. Though, if you've been gaming for a period of time actually, you've probably heard all kinds of insults. Again, some are constantly repeated, some are rather unique, and that's what I love about the gaming community. Its ability to constantly produce generational insults that'll be said over and over again for ages. But there's one that stuck out to me. The oldest trick in the book, some might say. You're adopted. Anybody who heard this insult during its early days of inception would probably have recoiled in simultaneous distraught and depression. I don't know, I probably wasn't old enough to understand it back then. But Kurt thought. You're adopted. Oh, the tears! How they start falling! I can't handle it anymore! The internet is evil and should be lynched! Mommy! Daddy! Let's dissect this insult. It's two words. It shouldn't be so hard. The your refers to you. The directed, of course. The adopted, well, in the context of the insult, it's no celebration you were taken in. You were abandoned, never loved, not wanted. Your biological parents never wanted you. Kind of like Denji when it came to women. And I know for a fact that the motherfuckers who said this insult felt like they were the shit. Yeah, I got you now. I have parents who wanted me. I still remember my first time being insulted with this gem. I was playing Jailbreak back in 2019. Y'all remember Jailbreak? Fair enough if you don't. At this rate, with Shakespearean masterpieces coming out and drowned in Jailbreak, I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, I was in a game with my friend. We'll call him AG. Now, if my memory serves me right, the only two robbable spots that time were the bank and the jewelry shop. And as there was already a robbery in progress at the bank, we naturally went for the jewelry shop. Now, with every robbery, there were obstacles, of course. In the bank robbery, there were these moving lasers that looked like that one scene from Resident Evil, and lasers on the floor that would damage you. Simple and straightforward, right? Now, in the jewelry shop, it was also similar. Lasers on the first floor when you're actually robbing the place, and systematic lasers going left to right on the third. Now, on the second floor, the devs switched it up by placing cameras that would damage you when in its vision. The thing about its vision, and with how the lighting was on the floor, it'll be a bit hard to see the difference in color shades, and thus led to me taking at least some damage whenever I was there. And that's what happened. A few too much on the first floor, and when I reached the second floor, I was immediately subdued by the camera. And with no one to support a shootout with the cops post-heist, AG was arrested not long after. And also not long after, in VC, he hurled a slew of insults toward this mic and straight into my ear. And among one of them, you're adopted. When I heard that, you'd expect some sort of disarraying reaction. No, I'm sorry like that. No. Instead, okay. I didn't really think much of the insult back then because it really was just an insult. It's not as if it was revolutionary or anything. But throughout the passing years, whether it was directed at me or just heard of it, I've seen more and more people use it, and it had me thinking, what's so bad about it? Yeah, you're adopted. So what? Two aspiring parents walked into the center that day, looked at you, having already considered multiple factors when taking care of you, such as finances, schooling, and the challenge of connecting with two adults whom you've never seen before, and thought, hell yeah, I'll nurture you into the awesome character that you are today. I don't know, I'm just assuming based on statistics. Actually, it's not so far off an adopted pets if you think about it. People look at their future pet, said, I want this one right here, this one. This one nurtured, fed, and gave that cat a life worth bullying their owner over. Granted, less people probably made proper considerations when adopting pets, and likely, just likely, one of how cute the animal is. If anything, it makes adopting children more noble, because as I've said, these parents make actual considerations before wanting to adopt. I've already been through several just now, but there's a whole list of factors, including legality, commitment, health, emotional challenges, and developmental challenges. Matter of fact, their lives might be happier than some biological children, maybe more than some of the people that were talking smack about you. These adopted children were generally picked up by parents who wanted to look after them. Obviously, there are biological kids out there in a loving household, only having to worry about what's the latest brain rot. But there are children who were unwillingly brought onto earth and into an unstable, abusive, absent, neglective, sadly the list can go on and on, household. Talk about bad RNG. And this traumatic childhood, if there was no one to turn to during their growing years, can lead to bottling up such experiences. Like this constant suppression, running away from the past, and not recovering from what had happened can cause mental health problems, and the cycle perpetuates. I want to reiterate, all of these are just mights. Might happen, might not. It's 2025, guys. The world is more accepting. Can these things happen to adoptive children as well? Oh, of course. But I feel that parents who adopt generally consider more when taking care of the kid. Again, generally. Remember how I said that the offensive part of the insult was that your biological parents didn't want you? Well, first and foremost, that's one hell of an assumption. And you know, if they didn't want you, you'd probably have it. The part of real parents giving up their kid because they're unwanted is so silly. You're telling me they gave up raising their kid 3 months postpartum and they didn't feel like it anymore? They wanted to go party and club or something? Nah, be for real right now. I think the rationale behind people giving up their kids for adoption is pretty noble, because they know for a fact they can't raise the little guy. Father left, teen pregnancy, financial difficulties, plenty of reasons people put their kid up for adoption. Not saying a kid can't have a great life with these challenges, but it's hard. Not just for the parents, for the kid too. And these people know that and want their kid to have a proper life in an environment that can definitely nurture their development. These adoptive kids might one day want to find their real parents, but that's besides the point. You're adopted is an insult that's been around for decades at this point, primarily said throughout the gaming community to remind their targets that they're unloved and probably have some unresolved childhood trauma. But it's an F-tier insult because it really just means they were wanted. I will go as far as to say they're lucky, because these children were picked up by parents who are willing to bear the obstacles of parenting, let alone someone within the adoption center. Sure, you might want to find your real parents one day. Find out why they left you for adoption. It's easy to think that they wanted the easy way out of parenthood, but it's probably for a good reason as well. I hope so anyway. If you're someone who frequently shit talk people during games, before you say those legendary 2 words, think to yourself for a bit and reflect. How can I be more creative? Actually, I think there's a better way to insult people of a similar nature. You're fostered. What's the difference? Adoption is permanent and usually taken care of by more responsible parents. Fostering, on the other hand, nah. It's temporary. And while foster kids can be cared for by nurturing parents, what's stopping cokehead Charlie from looking presentable just for a few days and fostering like 6 kids crammed into a 1-room apartment and getting that $800 per head allowance? Go get that bag, Charlie.